So this was the one from 2 weeks ago, and I thought I'd add something shiny to it. So I've got some falling out. I thought, go have a go at painting that. So the idea is looking at how we can treat different textures and different surfaces, really, surface finishes. So these are a couple of examples. This was the sort of thing I did this morning. So this was like texture on fur. So there's the teddy bear there. Haven't wanted to try that. But I thought I won't go that far yet. We'll just sort of compare it. So either glass or shiny, but I think shiny might be slightly easier than glass. So things like either glass or shiny objects, where you've got, let's put that down a minute. Where you've got something quite polished, you find that you get very strong contrast. You go from light to slightly mid-tone and dark, but very rapid. And it doesn't, with, for instance, say like the orange, when we're painting the orange, you've got a light source coming down, so that this will be the lightest bit. You might get a highlight here, and then this will be what they call a crescent shadow, and then you might then get a cast shadow underneath. So they're the three or four different kinds of light. And that's it. So there's a sort of logic to that. But with shiny things and transparent things, it's a little bit random really, because it's a slightly greyish object, but then it's reflecting whatever else we can see around us and in the room. And similarly with the bottle, it's a mixture of transparent looking through it, but then it will slightly distort things, and then other bits will collect shadows and also have reflections of lighter things. So, but anyway, I'll try something a little bit like that. So the way I tend to go about something like this is, so just using acrylics on this one, I've sketched out roughly with a pastel pencil, which you can just about see there. I tend to use these, that sort of tone, nothing too dark, and I tend to pick a colour that's just going to sympathise with whatever I'm painting, or blend in with whatever I'm painting, because this will disappear. And I like the acrylic pencils because you can adjust it quite easily. You can just, usually on this sort of surface, you can just wipe it out with a bit of rag. I've tried to make it slightly darker just so you can see it. So that'll be the drawing, and then the handle will come around here. And then onto the painting, I would start probably, and let's put an apple. Just because I can use that apple there, then. That makes more sense, doesn't it? Yeah, it's a bit more like it. Start with just like a mid-tone grey, just to get some colour everywhere. So I'll just mix that. So last week I covered a bit on colour mixing, and I usually use something like a brown and a blue to get a grey. So I try and avoid using black really. Sometimes I'll mix black in with other colours. The nice thing about making greys out of blues and browns is you can make them slightly cooler with the blue and slightly warmer with the brown. So that's what I tend to start with. So just get just looking at where it's an overall grey, perhaps here. And then the top, I'll use that same sort of colour. That. And yeah, I'll take that one out to the side. Acrylics will dry quite quickly, so I could let that dry, or I'll work into it. There's a little bit grey here. And then, because we're next to this big blue backdrop, around this side it's reflecting quite a lot of blue. So again, I'll just go for a mid-tone blue. And around, I'll paint a little bit of the backdrop in. So this is basically cerulean blue and ultramarine blue. So the two blues I talked about last week are using there. Quite dark there's some lighter areas we can get to. Down here. And then just a tiny bit of blue, white, get a few little bit of highlights in the background. Second that, get another brush. Just down at the bottom here, it's quite dark, so I'll add a bit of blue and a little bit of brown. Just get a nice dark, shadowy colour. And from this stage, it's just really just trying to observe whatever I can see. There's some, where the apple is here, there's reflection just coming up here, the reddy reflection. So I'll mix the red with the reds I've got here. It's also, I'm going to add a tiny bit of brown to that, because tonally it's darker than the actual apple I can see, so I can go just a little bit darker. That's about there. And just lighten it up a little bit, maybe in the middle, just a tiny bit. We've got a strong dark shadow here, not shadow reflection, which I think is me. This is my reflection. This is what I look like in it. Let's have it. Joe. There. And really, it's just different stripes that I'm seeing. There's a slightly yellowy grey, so a little bit of yellow in with this greyish tone. A little bit of a bluer one to go further around. And then I think they really start going darker again. So it's really just a matter of working your way around and just paying careful attention. I guess try not to move around too much because you'll see different things as you move around. A little bit darker here. Maybe darker still. So more blue and brown to make a darker grey. And then back to a lighter one. Get a different touch from that. A bit lighter here. A bit lighter one there. And the edge I see is being a bit darker. Something a bit like that. And then the top, there's quite a bit of light reflected off the top, so I'll add some light in there. Lighten that up. With looking at tonal values, I find screwing up my eyes really helps. Just seeing how dark something is and how light. So that can go a bit brighter. A little bit light in there, a bit brighter just there. And then the final bit is just any little bits of highlight, particularly on the rings. Just a tiny bit to here. Light a bit there, another break and another light bit there. And for some reason it's just slightly reddy there. Just kind of breaking it down, taking time, and just close observation of each section. I think it's starting to read as a joke. It might need a bit of tweaking of the colours and tones, but it's starting to read. Okay, does that help?
It does.
Any questions? Yep.
It does.
Good. Okay, great.
Like magic.
Magic, yeah.